Hi all, I'm Konstantin, you're on Lightstream channel, and in this video I'll discuss popular market equipment. These are SPI pixels, tubes, running fire tapes, and control tapes that can be addressed. Additionally, let's discuss their variety, where data is transmitted over a single wire. I must state now, this is not exactly SPI, but since the name exists and has become established, today I'll use it too. In the video, I will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the equipment, about when its use is justified, and what to pay attention to when choosing. Lastly, I'll demonstrate strip connection, control using Lightstream converter. Let's proceed. So, the advantages. Equipment on SPI is more economical than comparable equipment on DMX in terms of cost. The data transfer rate for DMX protocol is 250 kbps, for SPI it's 800, i.e., nearly 3 times more. This implies that the quantity of devices we can transmit a signal to simultaneously at the same frame rate will be higher. In the Lightstream program, the number of devices of pressure is limited to 680, and the frame rate will always be greater than 40. Regarding the downsides, the distance from the signal source to the receiver, i.e., from the controller to the first pixel, should be short due to low noise immunity. In practice, of course, this distance depends on many factors, but in most cases the following recommendations apply. Smaller, better, not exceeding 1 meter. Perhaps distance is greater, but it depends on numerous factors, and this is more of an exception rather than a rule. If compared to DMX, there the distance can be up to 500 meters without using repeaters. There's a way to bypass this limit, and I'll tell you later. If a chip is damaged, the signal stops and cannot continue in the chain. All subsequent devices or pixels stop working. If you draw a parallel with DMX, then if one pixel fails, all the others continue to work. This drawback also has a solution in the form of a duplicate track, and I will come back to it. The choice of equipment in each specific case is individual. Something may be perfect for interior, temporary installation, and at the same time be optimal in price, but it will not be suitable for another type of installation. When choosing equipment, attention should be paid to the characteristics of the chip and the LED. The chip can be installed either separately or directly inside the LED housing. There is no perfect equipment in general. There is only one that suits your needs. Let's take a look at the key features. Power supply voltage. Typically for the tape, it's 12 or 5 volts. The advantage of a 12V tape over a 5V tape is that less current flows at higher voltage. This implies that we can utilize wires with a smaller cross-sectional area for power supply or power longer sections. 12-volt tape is also less sensitive to voltage drops. Refresh rate, frequency of regeneration on the LED. I will show by example. I have 2 LED strips and a pixel placed on a cardboard strip here. A slight brightness is established, and I will execute a few rapid movements to ensure the desired effect is achieved. One tape has a refresh rate of 400 Hz, the other 1000 Hz, and the pixel 2000 Hz. Flickering is hard to perceive. The human eye cannot perceive frequencies above 400 Hz, but flickering is noticeable with peripheral vision during movement or when shooting on camera. A modern chip should output at least 2000 Hz. Try to see for yourself. Observe with your peripheral vision how sensitive it is to flickering. In my opinion, everything below 1000 Hz causes eye irritation and fatigue. Operating temperature. At low temps, the chip malfunctions. Simultaneously, failures can occur below the specified limit temp. Therefore, we monitor the temperature range, especially if the object is located in a cold region. Color bit depth, needed for hardware gamma correction. Without going into tech details, even the mean color value, e.g. 1 out of 255, will look quite bright without gamma correction. All the image will be lightened in shadows, and the smooth transition from black color will look stepped. Gamma correction in 12 bits provides smoother gradients and colors. In my opinion, even 12 bits is not enough, but it is significantly better than 8 bits. It is impossible to achieve normal color with 8 bits, and we do not use such equipment in our projects. Presence of a duplicate track. If we consider, for example, ws2812 bit, then when one of the chips fails, all subsequent pixels stop working correctly. Such a malfunction is immediately noticeable. The negative effect of this malfunction can be significantly reduced by using the ws2815 chip or similar ones. He possesses an extra duplicate track for the control signal. If the chip fails, the rest of the line will continue to operate. As seen from the datasheet, when the chip fails, the input signal does not enter the next input and the chip takes it from the duplicate channel. Such damage is nearly undetectable, and this solution will be effective until 2 consecutive pixels stop functioning. LED quality. All reputable manufacturers provide detailed information about the LEDs they use. In the documentation for LEDs, there are test results and crystal degradation graphs, which can be used to draw conclusions about LED lifespan in your conditions. Generally, many parameters, but prioritize reliability. Remember, you'll have to operate and maintain all of it. The presence of a backup channel in this case is a significant advantage. Servicing the system will be easier, as the failure of one pixel is not so noticeable. Therefore, when choosing, this option may be preferable to some other parameter. For instance, refresh rate is lower, but there's a backup channel, implying higher reliability. You need to consider how long your installation will last and under what conditions it will be used. It is also desirable to test it in the necessary temperature modes so that the quality satisfies you. The main conclusion is that SPI equipment can be used. The main thing is to pay attention to the parameters, apply consciously, thoughtfully, possibly even consult or ask questions. If anything, comments under the video are open. Before this, I was talking about SPI lighting equipment, but to control the light, controllers are also needed. Now, there are a large number of SPI controllers from China on the market. One advantage of theirs is the price. They're cheaper, but they have quite a few disadvantages. The feature of the SPI signal is low noise immunity. This means that the distance between the controller and the initial pixel should be tiny. Not a controller minus, but a theme. I'm going to leave this item here at least. The controllers have large dimensions. There is no moisture protection and resistance to low temperatures. Frame rate not always stable, not always 25 frames per second. No scenarios. Some have playlists, but they do. Difficult or impossible to control. Inconvenient fastening. Absence of remote control. Low reliability. Difficulty of mastering. There are a multitude of nuances in the work, which are not visible at first glance, but you will have to master them through your own experience and your own mistakes. There is additionally a compatibility issue present with other equipment. These controllers frequently utilize non-standard or truncated versions of protocols for communication. Recognizing that SPI is a cost-effective and generally impressive choice, we have created a solution that enables affordable projects through the utilization of SPI equipment while maintaining a high-quality management system. We manage equipment on SPI just like that. Similar to trustworthy DMX equipment you can rely on. The converter receives ArtNET signal and converts it, in DMX or SPI depending on the settings. Currently we are discussing SPI as the main topic. Converters in warm circuit can be located. With convenient access to them, there is a long, up to 300 meters interference protected line. This length is achieved by applying differential signal on this section. After it's converted into a high frequency signal, the extender board responsible for conversion works well at negative temps. Signal transmitted over one twisted pair, from several ports to several extenders if they are nearby. The extender is powered by one of the strips connected to it. Connecting tape with clock track during video recording is being developed. Both extender outputs will be used when it is connected. The extender itself looks like this. This is a compact printed circuit board that has from 1 to 2 differential inputs and from 1 to 2 SPI outputs, depending on the connected equipment. 2 versions, 5V and 6 to 24V range. Operating temp, 40 to +150 degrees. Convenient terminal blocks on sides, marking on reverse side of board for easy identification. The extender board responsible for conversion works well at sub-zero temperatures, and to protect it from moisture, you can Position the item within a compact box or container that is of a small size. In certain cases, heat shrink can also be utilized. Tube with adhesive layer. The location of the extender determines everything. So let's observe what we obtain. Distance over twisted pair up to 300 meters. Also, we're moving away from it. The main disadvantage of SPI is the short distance from the controller to the pixel, but there are many advantages to using this option. Controllers can be located in warmth with convenient access to them. There is remote control. You can access the web interface of the player from the office, make the necessary settings, upload or start the animation. Convenient environment. One software and hardware for DMX and SPI. No need to study various programs and controllers. For a variety of different types of equipment utilized. Convenient software. Developed based on experience in projects with understanding of system operation afterwards for optimal performance. Quickly create complex scenarios with convenience and ease. And a schedule for them. Stable frame rate, 40 frames per second. You can quickly check animations, for example, on a 3D model. No need to mess with the flash drive. By the way, they often become the cause of malfunction. File transfer is done over the network directly to the controller with eMMC memory. There's a convenient mounting on the panel on the DIN rail and tech support. This combo is pricier, but also provides more stable and high-quality equipment operation. Now I will show you how to assemble all this. I'll show the connection to the ws2815 strip using an example. We'll need the converter itself, tapes, power supply, twisted pair, extender board, computer or laptop. Supply power to converter. Connect to computer with twisted pair. Connect twisted pair to first port of converter. Blue is data plus, white blue is data minus. On second port, orange is data plus, white is data minus. Extender board reverse side marked. On one side, the input of the differential signal is data plus data minus for the first and second ports. On the other hand, power is supplied from one of the tapes, and there is an output of the converted signal from the first and second ports. Connect twisted pair to extender. First port and second port. Connect power to strip. There is currently no power to the extender. Both tapes are powered by a single power supply unit. If they are powered from separate blocks, these blocks will need to be connected to the ground. Make sure to connect the data line coming from the first tape with the data line coming from the second tape to establish a proper connection. Connection established. We are serving food. The extender board immediately displays an indication. Moving on to the settings. To convert ArtNET not to DMX, in SPI, it is necessary to make some changes to its settings. To do this, you need to run the Lightstream program and perform a converter search. The converter itself must have power and be connected by twisted pair to the computer directly or through a router. You can see how to do it in the video at the link. Choose the desired converter, navigate to settings, and select it. Required chip and number of RGB pixels per port. List does not include all chips, but most popular ones. If you do not have your own chip, you can select the signal with the closest temporal characteristics from the list. Here you can also change the time intervals. On the converter, adjusting them to the characteristics of your chip. Pressing Set. At the end of the indicator blinking, the setup is complete. Closing the window and performing the search again. If the converter has been added, before modifying the port type or adding a port without updating the search, the manual adjustment of the number of ports and universes for each port will be required. If we assume that 170 pixels represent one universe if 340 pixels 2 and 684, it is also important to change the controller type from DMX to SPI in the properties. Depends on channel distribution at universe's border. Well, let us start some animation. How to create it in Lightstream U. You have the chance to watch the video by accessing it through the provided link that is available for your viewing convenience. If video helped, be sure to like. For questions, write comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you in the next videos.